All right, hey, welcome back to Unit 9B Learning Target. I can factor using all my knowledge together. So this is a combination of all of the factoring that we have done. So let's take a look at this. All right, so always, our first question for these, like factoring completely, is there a GCF? All right, so is there anything we can pull out? So as we look at 32 and 98, okay, I see that 2 goes into both of those, and I think that might be our biggest number value. I also see that both of them have a y, so we will take out 2y. And when we do, we're left with 16, 2y, 16x squared minus 49. Okay, so our next question is to look and say, okay, is a equal to 1? No. Is a not 1? Okay, or is it a difference of squares? I like that. Okay, so since 16 is a perfect square, 49 is a perfect square, I can see that this is a difference of squares. So the square root of 16x squared is 4x. The square root of 49 is 7. So this is going to break into 2y times 4x plus 7 times 4x minus 7. Okay, and we're done. So that's a pretty straightforward, easy problem once we get that GCF out. All right, let's look. So on the next one, again, let's look for a GCF. Okay, so as we look for the GCF, so thinking about 4x to the third. So 4 does, okay, so 4x to the third. I know that's 1, 2, and 4. So let's think about 4. Does 4 go into 48? Yes. Does it go into 28? Yes. So 4 is our biggest factor, our GCF. Okay, then do they share any variables? Well, they all have an x, so I can take out 4x. Okay, when I divide by 4x, I'm left with x squared minus 7x plus 12. Okay, next question. Is a equal to 1, a not 1, difference of squares? Okay, well, if I look right here, a is 1. So this is a really easy problem. We're going to look at that c value, 12. What are the factors of 12? 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Okay, now notice b is negative, so that means they both have to be negative to get positive 12 and add to a negative number. Okay, so not negative 1 and 12, not negative 2 and 6, must be negative 3 and negative 4. Okay, so this breaks into x minus 3 times x minus 4. All right, so first two problems, really straightforward. Next one, let us look for a GCF, always, GCF. Okay, so I'm going to look at my smallest number, 3, because nothing bigger than 3 can go into 3. So does 3 go into 18? Yes. Does 3 go into 6? Yes. Is there any variable that they share? No. So just 3. And when I divide by 3, I'm left with 6x squared sorry about that, plus, I'm going to put a 1 there, though you don't have to, 1x, and then minus 2. Okay, so is A equal to 1, A not equal to 1, or a difference of squares? And in this case, I can see that A is not 1. Okay, so this is where we do the AC method. So A times C gives me negative 12x squared. Okay, so AC is negative 12x squared. All right, so let's think about factors of negative 12. So 1x, 12x, sorry about that, or 2x and 6x, 3x and 4x. Okay, so I can see that this right here is negative, so that tells me one has to be negative, one has to be positive. They have to add to get positive 1. So that tells me that it's going to be this, and if it has to be positive 1, that means the 3 is negative, because negative 3x plus 4x equals positive 1x. Okay, so now, keeping that 3 out in front, I'm going to rewrite 6x squared minus 3x plus 4x minus 2. Okay, draw a line down and focus on these two. So that 3 in the big bracket. Okay, what goes into 6x squared and negative 3x? Well, they both have a 3, and they also both have x. Okay, when I divide by 3x, I'm left with 2x minus, well, I took the whole 3x out. That means I'm just left with 1. Okay, I need to get 2x minus 1. So what would I need to divide by? The sign doesn't change, so just a positive 2. Okay, factor 1, factor 2. Okay, and don't forget the GCF. So 3 times factor 1, 2x minus 1, times factor 2, 3x plus 2. Okay, great news for you. There's going to be a quiz in class on Tuesday. I'm going to put these problems up. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. So if you wrote all this down, you'll easily be able to get a 4 on that test. All right, have a great night, and I will see you in class.